Oh, how you doing? Oh, where you at? Oh, you got plans. Don't say that. That's my good. Oh, I love that song. Anyway, what's up? I am reducing the amount of live streams that I do. Yep. Because I have other money making things I need to be doing. So unfortunately, I cannot do as many live streams as I used to. So, yeah, sad, I know. But I'm going to try to do a live stream when I can. But it's definitely at the bottom of my list of priorities. What I do is I post my TikToks early in the morning. You can check those out if you want to, or you can go into TikTok and check me out. I also do Instagram Reels. Okay, I try to keep my videos short and sweet and keep it moving, because I don't have a lot of time to, I don't know. I'm trying to reduce my amount of screen time as well because it's important. It's part of my mental health routine. It's part of self-care. It's a part of, just the things that I have to do when planning. I have to plan everything. Everything has to be strategically done now. So it's hard for me to just suddenly do impromptu live streams just randomly like I did before. I just can't do it. So anyway, this live stream right here actually stems from a couple of short videos that I did earlier. I posted them on my YouTube. And the more I talk about the subject of money and how it moves between men and women, I get to see the dynamic and why everything is out of whack when it comes to that. Men are starting to no longer feel comfortable with babysitting women. And I honestly feel like it's for the best because now women, we have so many opportunities out here to get our own money. I mean, a lot of us don't even have to leave the house to get it. So, getting money right now is very easy for just people in general, especially women. Women are starting to have more opportunities than we did before. There was a day and age where women didn't make as much money as men, and women couldn't get the jobs that men get. But those days are like closely coming to an end. Okay. And women are starting to be able to carry their own weight. All right. So, what made me decide to do this live stream, let me just first say I'm Soncerae. If you're new to my channel and you're just tuning into the live stream, make sure you thumbs up the live stream. If you're not interested in the topic, understand, thumbs down the live stream and unsubscribe. But if this is a good topic that you would like to hear more about, please make sure you thumbs up and put your thoughts inside of the comment section. And so earlier today, I made a video where I was talking about dates. And everyone always has this big, like they make a big fuss. It's always a debate about who should pay for first dates, who should pay for all of the dates, who should do blah, blah, blah during courtship. And what I try to get people to understand when we're talking about grandparents and our parents and people who got married 20 and 30 years ago and traditional marriage and things of that nature, we are talking about a whole bunch of rules and regulations and thought processes that applied to people during that time. So now in modern day dating culture, things should be very, very different. And they are very different, but a lot of people are trying to apply outdated rules and regulations and stuff to dates. Like people have a whole bunch of old boundaries set to new age people. Okay. You're dealing with a whole different type of person now. So you have to do things very different than how our grandparents did it and how our parents did it. And a lot of people feel uncomfortable with that notion because they feel like they aren't going to get the same level of success that their parents did. Now, the only reason why we as a people in this day and age won't be able to get the same results or success that our parents did is because our parents and our grandparents were in a different era. They didn't have access to all of the things that we have now. They weren't doing half of the stuff that we are doing now that technology has come into play, and we have access to more money, we travel more, we have access to more people and more experiences. And these weren't things that we, could indulge in as much as we can now. Okay, it's an unlimited amount of opportunities for people to cheat, to lie, to be poly. Okay, which is not the same. Cheating and lying and being promiscuous is not the same as being poly. It's a completely different responsibility. But you have uh, access to more money and, a wealthier set of people that you wouldn't be able to have access to, because there used to be a time where regular average people could not interact with celebrities in any type of way. But now you have social media where celebrities and the average person can link up real easy. Also, there's a whole new level of celebrity, which is basically the social media influencer, or the person who gets on the internet and the internet creates a level of popularity for them. So it's a whole nother like way of living now. And when people try to apply old boundaries and standards to new age dating and new age relationships, they fail. Okay. Now, in the video that I did earlier on TikTok, I posted on TikTok. Of course, anytime I post a video that has something to do with men spending money, the women act strange because women are so entitled. Women feel so entitled because the way that we were raised, we were raised so entitled and to feel so selfish when it comes to bringing something to the table. Now, there's this cancer going around called hypergamy. And with the hypergamy narrative, it's let's date up, let's not date down. And even if we do have money, that's unimportant because men don't care if we have money. Now, here's what bothers me about that entire thing. Women are using their quote unquote feminine energy, divine feminine energy, and they claim that a part of this divine feminine energy is using men for money, making sure that men pay for everything because power is in money. But instead of them going to get this power on their own, they feel like this power is masculine. So the power of money, the power of wealth is only designated for men. This is in the minds of women who indulge in hypergamy. Okay, because they don't feel like they themselves should go out there and get their own wealth because that's masculine energy. Putting forth any type of energy to do something for yourself, invest in yourself, get your own education, start your own business, generate your own wealth, do all of those things, that's classified as masculine energy. You codependent on a man is masculine energy. I mean, a feminine energy. But you being independent is classified as masculine energy. So when I get online and I tell women, go out there and secure your own bag, to them, that is masculine energy. And that men are only allowed to have that power. Okay? So, as a modern woman myself, right? Let me tell you the thought process of a woman who has money. Now, I spent a lot of my life financially stable, and I've had a couple of broke pockets, right? Like, I'll be wealthy for an extended amount of time, and then something bad will happen and it'll knock off all of my wealth, and I'll get into this place where I'm broke. Okay. And what I've been trying to do now that I'm back generating, a substantial amount of income, I'm trying to make sure I don't go back to the way that I was, to where I didn't have any money. Right. So I'm having savings accounts, checking accounts, emergency funds, buying cryptocurrency, investing, about to invest in commercial properties and real estates and multi-level family units and stuff like that, right? So I'm trying to make sure that I never get back to a point where I don't have any money. Now, in order for you to be that, in order for you to get that, you have to understand the difference between a liability and an asset. A liability is something that basically drains you financially. A liability. A asset is basically something that helps you multiply. Okay, like stocks and shares and things that generate income. Like, say for instance, if you were to get a rental property, instead of you actually living in that rental property, you can rent out the property for someone else to live in, or you can rent out rooms, or you can do Airbnb. It's plenty of people that do not live in the homes that they own because they're renting them out as Airbnbs, and that's actually generating a lot more income for them instead of them actually living in the home. Okay. And it'll probably get them, maybe, depending upon the market, they can sell it later on after, the mortgage is up. Now, personally, for me, when I talk to women about financial stability, I always tell them to please be sure that you pay for a home in cash. Pay for a home that needs to be renovated. Okay. And if you could buy the lot instead, just buy the lot, buy the land, and then knock whatever house that's on there down and put two homes in that space. So if you buy a big enough space, you can put two small units in that same space instead of one big ass house, and then sell it to two different people. Or, rent it out to two different people, or sell it after you've renovated it. And you can sell it for like two, three, four times the amount of money that you bought it for. Okay. So I don't know if you guys ever been on the highway and you see a sign and it says, "I buy ugly houses." It's like a little cave monster thing. And if you look at the sign, it says, "I buy ugly houses." That's why he buys the ugly houses. He buys the ugly houses. He flips the homes. He renovates it, or knocks them down entirely, rebuilds, two units in its place, and then gets money that way. So anyway, back to what I'm saying. So I always tell women to make sure that before they start dating in general, to go out there and make sure they have a 700 credit score. Okay, that they have their own home already, that they paid in cash, and they have their own car already that they paid in cash. Right? Don't take out loans. If you want your credit to be good, don't take out a loan. Just make sure that you have credit cards that you pay for monthly, and your credit will always be good. Okay? Never take out loans. I wouldn't even bother with loan. Maybe I would invest in peer-to-peer lending, but never like, oh, I'm gonna go get me a luxury car and take out a loan. I may do a lease, maybe, maybe, but for the most part, the best thing that you can do with your money as a woman is get you a car that's just a regular, like, everyday Honda Accord type of. You know what I mean? Like, the average person who is wealthy, I promise you, most of us are not like spending all of this money on lavishness. Luxury and lavishness is usually a trait of people who live paycheck to paycheck. And just because their paycheck is big doesn't mean that they're wealthy. Like, you see a lot of people that have fancy everything, like they have designer everything, they have luxury cars, they're going on luxury, you know, resorts all the time. Now, resorts might be different because, traveling is usually something that, we splurge on, experiences. But for the most part, if you see somebody who is consistently putting money into their physical appearance, or they have Louis Vuitton this all the time, Birkin bag this, handbag that, all this fucking jewelry on, all of that stuff All of those things cost money, and most of those things are liabilities. So a liability is something that drains you financially. When women are courting men and they don't have assets, they don't have their own homes, they don't have their own cars, they don't have their own anything, they are a liability to wealthy men. But for some reason, these women come into the lives of these men looking for courtship, and they don't want to necessarily bring anything to the table because they feel like bringing something to the table is masculine energy. All right. So the TikTok that I made earlier, I was basically talking about a baby bird. Now, I've been trying to find better names to call people because when I was calling women bitches, y'all was mad. And you know what? I'm trying to stop using profanity anyway because I have a kid. My son is repeating everything that I say. I don't want my son walking around here calling women bitches. So I took out the word bitches and I put basica. Basically, a basica is a basic bitch. It's just a basica. I got that from G.L. Lambert. If you know anything about G.L. Lambert, he is an author. He used to have this website called Black Girls Are Easy, blackgirlsareeasy.com. And honestly, if you're a woman listening to me, G.L. Lambert is one of the best people that you can go to for relationship advice. There are plenty of people out there giving relationship advice, and I know a lot of people like to look at the popular ones, but G.L. Lambert, hands down, is like one of the best people to listen to as far as relationship advice goes. So anyway, he calls women basicus. So for me I wanted to discontinue calling women bitches, so I use the term basica. They was getting mad about basica. So now I use baby bird and big bird. So baby bird is basically just a young girl who has no idea what she's doing, but she thinks that the way a man shows his love is through his money. Okay? A big bird is basically an older woman who has that same philosophy, but she's too old to have that same philosophy. All right. So I made this video and I was talking about this baby bird I was talking to. All right. So this baby bird says to me that every single woman that she has spoken to who has went on a date with a man who is wealthy, these women have never had to look at the check. Right. This is what she was saying. And so I was like, well, of course you're a basic. You must have a whole bunch of basicas around you, because any woman who is wealthy, who has her own, who is valuable, who is a modern woman, of course she's going to look at the check because she's the one that leaves the tip. She's the one that tips the waitress. A basica has no reason to look at a check because she couldn't pay for it anyway. So when I posted that video on TikTok, of course in come a whole bunch of women who are like, nah, nah, and calling me a pygmy because they think that me telling women to have their own money has something to do with men and masculinity and not them in their own feminine energy and their own power. The reason why I tell women to go out there and get their own money is so they never have to rely on a man. I'm not telling women this because I want them to be more attractive and valuable to men. That's just a plus. You know what I mean? I tell women to go out there and get their own money so they can be valuable to themselves. You have to go out there and get your own everything so you won't have to rely on these men. And when these men come around, they are a luxury, not a necessity. They are something that you do at your earliest convenience, not because you need him to be there for room and board and to feed you. So they're like, oh, you're a pick me, you're a pick me. I'm never paying for a tip. I'm never have to pay for a tip. The wealthy men never ask me to pay for a tip. I mean, and I'm like, so a man has to ask you to not be selfish? Like a man has to literally say to you, please bring something to the table in order for you to want to bring something to it. Let's talk about the tab versus the tip. The tab on a date here where I live is about $200 for a man. Okay. I know some of y'all might live in other areas where, it's cheap as hell, right? But usually, if I'm just going to the neighborhood Applebee's, it's twice the amount of money you would spend because I live in Northern California. So let's say, for instance, you got a 2 for 20 at Applebee's. Here in Northern California, there's no such thing as 2 for 20. It's 2 for 22. So you got 2 for 22, and then you got the California tax on top of it. And then sometimes they have a fee for the city. So you have the state tax, and then you have the city tax on top of it. They're taxing you like crazy in Northern California, FYI. All right. So everything that you would pay for if you were like on the East Coast or in the South is twice the amount of money in Northern California. Everyone here is a millionaire. Being a millionaire is the least that you can make here because even the wages are higher. Okay. So when I am on a date with a man, and I haven't dated in a while, like I try to stay away from dating because I would prefer to work. Like I want to deal with men when I feel like dealing with men. Like I really am not, like I'm comfortable with being single. And I think a lot of people think, when a woman is that way, she's just gonna die alone and she's miserable. No, I just really like being alone. I'm really just not interested. And it's just a stage. I'll probably get over it with time, but right now I'm just not interested. So I just want to go out and do my own thing. Like I take my own self out. You know what I mean? So an average date here is about $200. If I wanted to tip 15% of that or 20% of that, it pales in comparison. So for women to be sitting here complaining about paying a tip for the waitress or saying that they wouldn't even dare do that when it's really just 2 nickels, that says a lot about where these women stand. So if you're a wealthy man or if you're just a regular average Joe and you take a woman out on a date, ask her to leave a tip for the waitress and see what she does. If she can't do it, she's broke. If she refuses to do it, she's selfish. These are the two type of women that you do not need to be dating. Just because a woman has money doesn't mean she's of value. She could be piss poor morally. So these are the two things that men need to do in order for you to choose better women. Just so you can make sure you're not choosing a woman who is selfish or choosing a woman who's money hungry. When you go on these dates with these women and you have to deal with wait staff, ask her to tip the waitress and see what she does. Now, ladies, here's what I want to teach ladies about men with money. And I know I said this before in a live stream. I know I've said this. Just because a man gives you money doesn't mean that he loves you, doesn't mean that you're valuable. When you go to men and you're expecting them to spend money on you, you are thinking in the back of your mind that the more money he spends on you, the more valuable you are. You are putting your own value and worth into the hands of a man. You yourself aren't going out there and creating your own lifestyle. As a woman, women should go out here and create their own lifestyle and then expect wealthy men to help them maintain it. If you have nothing to maintain, no wealthy man should be dating you. You have to create something to maintain. There are women out there that think that, hold on. There are women out there that think that treating a woman good is a wealthy man's motivation to be a better man. But I keep trying to explain to every single woman, a man who is wealthy is self-motivated. He doesn't need to treat a woman good in order to feel motivated every day to get up and go get some bread. But women want to feel like they're so valuable and they're so entitled that this is what men, are thinking every day. The average man who is out here a millionaire, owning companies and businesses, some liability that's using him for money that isn't bringing anything to the table is the least valuable person on his list. What women need to be trying to get from men is not their money, because men toss out money all of the time, especially wealthy men. Wealthy men give women money all of the time. That's easy because women come to them asking them for it all of the time. Women are expecting wealthy men to give out their money all of the time. So what makes you different from every single woman that's coming into this man's life with a vagina and beauty? It makes you no different. So the notion that the only type of man that will ask you what you bring to the table is a dusty is a broke bitch's logic. Any man who is wealthy and smart, he's going to want to know what you have to offer, because no man, and I promise you this, no man wants to continuously keep putting money into a liability if he has financial literacy. If he understands how wealth works, he's not going to be interested in continuously putting his money into a woman who is not helping him multiply. Let's take it to the Bible for a second. If you want to go back to traditional thought processes, in the Bible, they teach men that the women that they marry are supposed to help them multiply. If you give anything to a woman, she's supposed to multiply it. If you give a woman your sperm, she gives you a baby. That's multiplying. Okay? So it's the same thing with money. If you are in a relationship with a man, or you're trying to date a man and he consistently sees that you aren't multiplying, how is that valuable to him? If you're walking into a situation empty handed and you're not trying to improve yourself, make your own money, start a business, get your education, whatever the case may be, you're not multiplying a man's wealth. You're not helping him maintain the lifestyle that you want to live. You want to live as a woman. And I don't understand why women are out here so entitled, thinking that treating a woman good is supposed to be a man's motivation to go out there and get money every day. Any man who is wealthy and smart, he is self-motivated to go get his own bread. He was getting bread before you came around. You're not his motivation to go out there and get more money. That's just broke bitch logic. Okay, so a lot of the stuff that I'm hearing women say in the hypergamy culture, it's a lot of broke bitch logic. It's a whole bunch of broke women that only thing they have to offer is their looks and their vagina, and that's it. That's why I keep encouraging women to go out there and get a skill, go out there and start a job, go out there and find your own source of income in some type of way, and have as many sources of income as you can. If you really want a wealthy man to spoil you, you have to have a lifestyle that you created for yourself that he has to now put money in as upkeep. So if you go out here and you're buying yourself Birkin bags, he has to be able to buy you 3 or 4. If you are consistently traveling all of the time, he has to want to take you on better vacations, or give you enough money in order for you to go on regular vacations. But you have to have a life outside of this wealthy man. You cannot sit here and just expect for a man to have love and respect for you when you're just using them for money. The best thing a man could give a woman is love and respect. Genuinely love and respect. That's why I always say to women, you are in a much better position when you have sex with men because you love him. And I don't mean men in plural form, but a man that you love. If you have sex with a man that you genuinely love, and you know genuinely loves you, you are in a better position with a man than a woman is who is sleeping with a man for money. It will always be that way, because love and respect is something that men don't toss out often. Men might toss you a couple of dollars. Men have tossed out thousands of dollars to women that they don't love and respect. It's men out here who have married women that they don't love and respect, and they go out and cheat on this woman with a woman that they prefer to be with and love and genuinely want to be with. People keep thinking that these side chicks aren't being loved. No, they are. Definitely. Definitely. And I'm not saying every man is loving his side chick, but for the most part, it's a lot of men out there who genuinely love and actually have respect for their side chick. It's men out here leaving wives to be with side chicks. It's not how it used to be. And everybody is like clinging on to the way that it used to be and wanting it to be the way that it used to be. No, you need to adapt to the new way of living and the new way of doing things so you can win. Because if you keep holding on to the way that things used to be when you should be letting go, you're going to fuck yourself up. You're going to be fucked in the game. You're going to be messed up. Traditional ways no longer work in modern day dating culture. It's not going to work because it's a completely different set of people. It's a completely different set of circumstances. Wealth is very different now. Okay, so as women, personally, as for me, when I'm teaching women, I always tell them, go out there and get your own bread. And if you want a sugar daddy, fine, you want a sugar daddy. But don't come to a sugar daddy broke. Be able to keep yourself up with or without him. Don't need a man. Don't feel like a man is a necessity. He becomes a necessity when you start relying on him financially. And men who are smart and wealthy are going to want to know what you are going to do with their money. They're going to want you to multiply. They're going to want you to be an asset. You are only valuable to a man when you become an asset. When you are an asset to him, he genuinely loves and respects you. There are men out there who have married liabilities just to please you, to give you the bare minimum. A man giving you money is bare minimum. That is the least. That is the least a man can give you. His money. It's not the most. And a lot of women think it's at the top of the list, and it's not. It's at the bottom. Men toss out money easy if they're wealthy. What they don't give women easy is love and respect. So women are out here, the selfish women, they're out here like, you have pick me vibes. You're a pick me. You're a pick me. No. A pick me is someone who will do anything to keep a man. No, that's not what I'm teaching you. What I'm telling you is put yourself in a position to where these men are damn near expendable to you. Because ain't no way in hell you should be thinking no man is a prize. Whether he's wealthy or not. You the prize. Men go out here and do all types of stuff in order to just get to have sex with you. And the dumb ones, don't get me started on the dumb ones who accidentally got wealthy. And now they're spending all of this money that they don't have, that they don't know how to manage on a whole bunch of pussy. Men who spend money on women all of the time, lots of women, they're irresponsible financially. They don't have financial literacy. When men put all of this money into a whole bunch of liabilities, eventually his money's going to run out because he's not managing it well. But a man who is wealthy and will continue to be wealthy, he knows where to put his money. He knows who to give his money to. He knows how to invest. And he's not going to invest his money into a liability. He knows better. So it's up to you as a woman to make yourself an asset. And the only way you can make yourself an asset is by, number one, knowing how to help him multiply his wealth, not just keep draining him. So when it comes to dates, when women go on dates and they're trying to measure how much money a man makes, women who are broke do that. Wealthy women don't care about that. What wealthy women care about, again, is a man's credit score. You know, what type of assets does he have? Because if you're looking at him long term, those are the things that matter. Dates are short term. If you sitting here focused about how much he spend on a date as if the date determines how much money he has, you can fool yourself because it's a lot of wealthy men. Even where I live at, it's a lot of wealthy men who just love going on picnics, girl. Picnic, damn, how much a picnic costs? 2 Subway sandwiches, boo. You know what I'm saying? 2 Subway sandwiches. Come on, man. The way that wealthy people operate is very different from people who trying to flex. People who want everybody to see that they have money all of the time will flex. Men who are trying to impress women with taking them on fancy dates all of the time, they realize that you're low value and a damn date that cost them $200 and make you come almost. Like, damn. You so pressed, you so impressed by a $200 date because of how much the date is. They'll do that, and that's the bare minimum to get you to be all in with this dude. Some of these men be trying to play you. When they kicking out all this bread for you, they kicking out that bread for you. They kicking out the least that they can do for you so they can get you to do what they want you to do with them temporarily. It happens to the Instagram baddies all the time who want to be flown out. They get the quick cash. It never lasts. Because that's not what longevity is about when you're dealing with these wealthy men. How much he can pay for a date or if he can fly you out. Now, you need to be trying to figure out what these men credit score look like. What do they own? What are they really doing? When they go and handle their business, what are they doing? How are they getting their money? How are they becoming millionaires? What are they doing? Stop worrying about how much the date is and whether he tips the fucking waitress, because that's not what wealthy women are thinking about. I promise you. When we go on dates with these wealthy men, the reason why we become such of an asset to them is because we want to know what they're doing so we can help them multiply. And we have no level of selfishness in us whatsoever. It's okay to bring something to the table. We're not ashamed to bring something to the table. Hell, bringing something to the table is the least that I could do inside of a situation, because just like a man's love and respect is the most valuable thing he can give a woman, it's the same thing with women. See, with women, the most valuable thing I can give you is my love and my respect. And if I give you my love and my respect, then you can have the rest of me. My money, oh, that's easy. You can have that. I could tip a waitress. That's chump change, man. That's nothing. Stop putting so much value on a man's money. You won't once you have your own. Now, as far as Susan Anthony is in here talking about some old men love spoiling younger women. Old men spoil younger women because they know that the more they spoil a younger woman, the more her legs will open, because he want that young cat. That's what that's about. He's not spoiling you because he just wants you to be spoiled out of the kindness of his heart. He wants a return. And that's what's wrong with women. A lot of young women, especially a lot of little baby birds out there, they think they're so valuable. It's not that he's valuing you because, he just wants someone to value. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to treat someone good, and that's his motivation to keep moving every day. Listen, if he wanted to treat somebody good as a level of motivation, he'll put some money into a goddamn charity. It's that simple. You have to think like a wealthy man. Spoiling a woman is not an asset, it's a liability. Spoiling a woman does not bring him any type of return financially. All it's going to do is probably get him slept with. Probably he could have like this beautiful woman on his arm on a date. That's it. Outside of that, what good are you? What are you doing for him? My IG is the real Soncerae. Hey, Platinum Elite. My IG is the real Soncerae. So I just wanted to take a moment to talk about this, because I mean, it's so many women that think when I say go out there and make your own money, that's me having pick me vibes. They think that that's me saying, "Oh, do this so you can get a man, or be there for, be better for a man, or be more valuable to a man." No, it has nothing to do with that. Even though that's basically what you want anyway, to be valuable to a man. That's basically what these women want. That's the reason why they want men to give them money. They want to feel valuable to these men. It's weird that the woman that is saying to them, your value doesn't come from a man, these are the women that they're calling a pygmy. When in reality, they're the pygmies because they want to do whatever they can for this money, for this man to pour money into them, because they feel like the more money a man gives, the more valuable they must be to him. I seen a woman tell her audience of like 200,000 women that if a man gives you half of what he's earned, he thinks that you're valuable. That's the only way he can show his love. He's giving you half of what he's earned. No, no, that's not a new age way of thinking. That's an old traditional way of thinking. Those days are over. Men are starting to get tired of babysitting women. That's another reason why women are starting to get more opportunities than they used to. We are starting to be executives of companies, vice president of the damn United States, the wealthiest women in the world, doing all of these amazing things we never used to be able to do. And as women, these are things that we need to take advantage of instead of cultivating selfishness all the time. It's women that came in my comment section on TikTok and said to me, I'm a wealthy woman, but I'm never paying for a date. I make six figures and I never pay for a date. And I'm like, oh, so you just comfortable in your selfish energy. You just comfortable with taking and not giving anything to your man. He pays for everything. You make six figures and you mean to tell me you got your man out here paying for everything? Do you care about him at all? Are you helping him multiply his wealth? Or are you just sitting there multiplying your own? Men get got by women all the time. Men get got. And women think what's wrong with women is a lot of women are tired of being screwed over. They're tired of being the ones that got fucked over by a man. They're tired of the ones that were hurt. So they think having his money is some type of consolation prize if the relationship ends. No, it's not. Because at the end of the day, you still got the trauma associated with dealing with him. You go out there and get your own money, do it. If you go out there and you date a man who has money, please don't think that simply because he has money, y'all gonna have this wonderful fairy tale relationship and marriage. These men still cheat. These men still lie. These men still do all of the negative things that men go out here doing on a regular. Okay? A man's character is what matters at the end of the day. What kind of man is he? What kind of man is he? Is he going to be a good father? Is he going to respect you? Is he going to love you? Forget his money. Go out there and get your own money. That's all I had to say about that. I just want to talk about that for a second. Like I said, I'm not gonna be doing as many live streams as I was doing before. Another reason is the excessive trolling. I wanted to stop the excessive trolling that's been happening to my channel. I think I may just, I don't know, be done with YouTube. You know what I mean? I've said this so many times. I think I want to, I don't know, be done with it. I outgrew it. You know what I mean? If I do put content on here, it would be just to generate some income, slick. But the community here is not something that I really like that much. And the couple of people that do support me, you guys are following me other places, and that's what I need for you to do. I need anybody who is a supporter of mine to like follow me on Instagram and follow me on TikTok and other places and support me there. Do not support me on YouTube as much because it's just like I personally feel like ugh, being over here is a headache. I don't know if you listened to the last couple of live streams I did, but people are just, and especially guys, are just so disrespectful and rude. And I just wanted to limit the amount of access that people have to me. And I do want a platform to where I can speak in detail about my thoughts. So I might use this app called Radio, or I might just start doing Clubhouse. Yeah, I might start doing Clubhouse, but I do feel like with Clubhouse, it's kind of a little open, and it's excessive trolling on there as well. So it's just like I want it to be limited, to where it's only an elite number of people in there, elite kind of people in there, and it's only esoteric type of people. So I just have to find another way to do live streams, and some people just don't want to have a extra app on their phone. Hey Malik, what's up? A lot of people don't want to have an extra app, you know, to listen to live streams on, and people love YouTube so much. Don Carter, people need to just slowly disconnect from society and spend time with their family. Social acceptance is a drug. I agree. When I decided to step away for 5 or 6 months after that rumor was spread that I committed suicide, I spent a lot of time with my family, and I honestly, that was the most peaceful time I had ever had. And I've been trying to reduce the amount of screen time I have, because when you're on the internet all of the time, it's taken away from like regular everyday experiences that you can be having out that are way more fulfilling than the internet. You know, I want to spend time with my son. I want to spend time with my mom and my daughter. I want to go out on dates, you know, eventually. Like, I'm not open to dating right now, but eventually I'm going to want to do that. I take myself out to places, like I love hiking, you know, I love going on picnics. I love just being by the ocean. You know, these are things that I'm just enjoying, and none of it has anything to do with the internet. Those are the things that are actually more like, uh, you know, fulfilling. And so what, taking my time off the internet and not sitting here doing live streams and stuff all the time is better for me, and it's just better for people in general. I only get on the internet when it's time for me to work, and then I'm off it. I don't come on social media and socialize, because you get addicted to socializing with everybody on here that you forget the rest of your life and socializing with everybody else that matters. Like, the large part of my life isn't on social media. And I spent a lot of time on YouTube. I spent a lot of time here, and I made a lot of internet friends here. And when people hear me talk about my poor choices and friends, sometimes they think I'm talking about my real friends offline. I'm talking about people I met on the internet. Like, I've made so many poor choices and friends on the internet. And I need to be more detailed when I say that, because a lot of people think, oh, when she says she has a difficult time with picking friends and picking people and picking business partners and, you know, stuff like that. The only time I've ever had a problem is with people who I've chosen to be friends with on the internet. Because when you meet people on the internet, a lot of times they're pretending to be something that they're not. They aren't 100% who they are. You'll end up dealing with somebody that you didn't genuinely mean to deal with, because you didn't interact with them offline. See, people I've interacted with online, let's say I was out somewhere and somebody introduced me to a person, or I happened to meet somebody while I was at a bookstore, or while I was at a conference or a seminar or something. Usually those people I end up staying friends with for a long time. We have friends to the end of time. We have friendship to the end of time. Most of the people I met in real life, I'm still friends with. People whom I met on the internet, oh my God. I have more failed relationships with people on the internet than anything. People that I built friendships with on the internet are the people who I've had the worst experiences with. And we're talking about men I've dated, moderators, admins, friends, business partners, anybody that I just met on the internet. That's it. You know, it's like temporary friendships and people I shouldn't have trusted. And I'm the type of person, I'm very welcoming, especially in real life. I'm very welcoming, you know. I want people to feel comfortable around me. And so for a long time I didn't realize that when I get on the internet, I can't be that person. I can't be the person that's out here making friendships with a whole bunch of strangers. Because for the most part, people get on the internet and they become whatever version of a person that they want to be. And sometimes that person evil. That person evil sometimes. So all of the fucked up experiences that I've had with content creators and fucking moderators, and damn, you know, that's why I tell women not to online date. I tell women don't online date all the time, because every single man that I met online and dated, he was fucked up. It's rare that you meet somebody online that isn't fucked up. This is where a lot of messed up people conjugate at. The people who are healthy, who have healthy lives, they're out here living their lives in real life. They're not on the internet all of the time. So when you see people who do 8-hour live streams, 10-hour live streams, and they're doing that shit like every day, those people are not healthy. People need healthy interaction away from the internet, meaning out here in physical, real life, out here enjoying air, you know, breathing regular air, interacting with people face to face. People need that. And I know I've needed that. And I think a lot of the friendships that I built on the internet, had I met those people in real life and interacted with them out in the open in the real world, we probably would have had better experiences, because I probably wouldn't have chose those people to deal with had I dealt with them in real life. So when you hear me talk about myself, where I've had like poor, experiences, and I make poor choices in people, it's usually when I'm on the internet, man. The people I dealt with on the internet. So be careful with internet people, man. And I'm not saying that everybody that's in my chat, or that's listening, or that's whatever, is a bad person. Because it's not everybody. But it's a lot of people on here. You have to be careful, man. You have to be very selective about who you build friends with. To me, I would not choose this place to date. Facebook is usually one of those places where you are kind of talking to people that you've known, people that you went to college. Because remember, Facebook used to be one of those places where you had to be in college in order to get on it. That's the only way I got on it. I couldn't, no one could get on when Facebook first started. You couldn't get on there unless you were a student. And then it changed to where everybody could get on it. But usually your Facebook friends are your real friends and your real family. So you have better interactions with people there. But when you're on platforms like this one, a lot of these people you don't know. These, like, when people come into my comment section, I don't know who I'm dealing with. I could be dealing with a 12-year-old girl pretending to be a man. I could be dealing with a man who's pretending to be a girl. You never know. And that's the problem with, you know, being anonymous on here. People with their fake profiles, a lot of convicted felons are on here. A lot of criminals are on here. A lot of sexual predators are on here. And I had to learn this the hard way. When people from this platform, and it's only been this platform, tried to affect my real life, is when I started realizing, how come it's just this website? I had to start doing my research about this website specifically. So I'm limiting the amount of time I'm on here. And if you haven't noticed, it's been shrinking and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, because I have a life outside of this. So I encourage anybody who's listening to me to also follow me on other social media platforms, because I'm not going to spend as much time as I used to spend on YouTube. I'm not spending as much time because I'm out here in the real world. So my little YouTube shorts and my little TikToks and my little reels, that's all I can do. I have to take care of my son. My son is 3 next month. I got to spend time with him. And so that's another reason why my watch time has declined. I'm just not doing, like, people come in and they thumbs down all of my stuff just to be cruel. These are just people I don't know, not people that I know in real life. People just come in and listen to 2 seconds of a video, thumbs it down, because I have thumbs down mobs. I have a whole bunch of trolls. It's so many trolls. It's like a wasteland over here to me. That's why it's hard for me to keep coming back. I keep telling y'all, every time I come over here and I do a live stream, it's hard, because I feel like most of the people who come over here to watch me, they come over here to, number one, troll, number two, thumbs it down, number three, say something in my chat to provoke me. I'm surprised nobody in my chat came and provoked me to say something, like to get a reaction out of me. It's so weird. So what you'll see more of from me is usually uploads, YouTube shorts, and little 10-minute uploads. I'm going back to my uploads. I'm not going to do as many live streams as I did before, because I really don't have time to sit here for an hour. YouTube wants me to sit here for an hour and just keep y'all watching and watching and watching and watching. You guys have to understand, a lot of the negative stuff that you see, they do that for on purpose. Like on TikTok. Listen, let me tell you something that I noticed about TikTok and how quick I got popular on there. If I put positive content on there, just like if I put positive content on YouTube, they don't post the positive content in your For You page. Anyone who knows how TikTok is built, it's 2 pages. It's 2 things you can click on. You got the page that you can click on where all of the people that you follow, you can see all their videos, and then you got the For You page where you could just, it's like a discovery page, a search page. They don't put your stuff on the search page unless it's controversial. If you're black, if you are black and you are posting positive content all of the time, all of your positive content is not going to be pushed in the faces of other people first. Okay. Whenever I post a video that has a controversial topic attached to it, What TikTok likes to do is put the negative comments at the top. No matter what people are saying, like people that agree with me, if they agree with what I'm saying, they're all at the bottom. They're always the ones at the bottom. And it doesn't matter when they left the comment. They could have left the comment yesterday, earlier this morning, a week ago. If they agree with what I'm saying, it'll be at the bottom. They put the controversial comments at the top because they feel like that's something people pay attention to more. So to bring more money, to bring more value, to bring more views, they put the negativity at the top. So if you consistently get on TikTok and you're making all of these negative videos all the time, or these controversial videos all the time, you will become popular on TikTok. If you are trying to post something positive all of the time, you won't become popular. If you post silly stuff, if you dance, if you sing, of course, you're going to become popular. If you're consistent, you're going to become popular. But for the most part, regardless to how many videos you do, once you become consistent and once you get all of these views, at the top will always be your most negative comments. Because they want those people to focus more on the negative stuff, because the negative stuff brings more views. You have to understand how social media works and how it keeps drawing you in, how you are addicted to it. The reason why you're addicted to it is because of the passion you feel anytime someone else disagrees for what you believe in or what you stand up for. Because most people don't have intellectual intelligence, they just get online and they're just venting, screaming. They want to be heard. They want their opinion to be heard. So they show you exactly what you disagree with to get you to keep watching some shit over and over and over again. And after time, once you start seeing all of this negative stuff all of the time, you become negative. I tell people, and I've been telling you guys this for years, don't drink the poison. Be careful about what you consume on the internet. Because the internet, listen, the world is fucked up, but the internet will show you how fucked up it is. At least in the real world, you get to choose. You get to be selective about what you see and what you entertain. If you don't want to entertain some negative shit, you're not going to go to the negative part of town. But on social media, if you don't want to participate in some negative shit, it does not matter. Because if Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok and YouTube have decided that they want to push something negative, you are going to see it. It's no way for you to avoid it. It's orchestrated that way. It's done that way on purpose. Virtual reality is a orchestration. I heard somebody say to me the other day, well, I don't believe that divorce is happening as much as it is. I see so many other people with these perfect relationships all over social media. Oh, so you think that stuff is real? You don't realize that these people are posting their highlight reels. They aren't posting their real lives. All you're seeing is the good stuff. You're not seeing the bad stuff that they go through. Who wants to sit here and post the bad stuff that they're going through all of the time? People who are about that drama. Like, for instance, Derek Jackson and his wife. They went up there. They was on a positive tip, right? Can you imagine them posting the arguments that they have had since then? I'm pretty sure Derek Jackson's wife has gotten into his shit because there was another girl that he ended up cheating with that she didn't know nothing about. And she was sitting up there with her bonnet on, cheering for him. And then she finds out, oh, there's another chick that he's cheated with. So could you imagine Derek Jackson and his wife posting the arguments that they have had since that apology video that they made together? They don't do that. So when you see these couples and they're all happy all the time doing videos together, smiling, that's for entertainment. That's not real life. You got some happy couples out there, but I promise you, each person has something negative. Each person has something that they're dealing with that they're not posting. So you can't look at other people's lives and think their lives are perfect. That's not how it works. That's not how social media is. Social media is a orchestration of entertainment. And it's just accessible to everyone around the world. And each person that logs on gets to choose their way to orchestrate entertainment to you. And whatever is the most entertaining It's usually the most negative thing. And the most negative thing is usually what's pushed the furthest, especially if it's sensationalism or a lie attached to it. Oh, it's going to wrap around the earth a couple of times before the truth even actually shows its face. So think about that next time you log in, and make sure that you do the best that you can to stay off the internet. The internet should only be something that you indulge in for a couple of hours and then go live your life. Don't get on here for no 8 hours, 10 hours, 24. That's way too much. YouTube is showing you inside of the app how many hours you spend on this app. Go make sure you look at that and measure how much time you spend with your family, working on your goals and your dreams. And I promise you, if you are spending more hours on YouTube versus you spending time with your family and your job and your goals, you're addicted to the internet and it's going to affect you negatively in the long run. You have to log off. People want you to stay logged onto this site so they can make money. You allow other people to make money off you while you sit here for 8 hours at a time, 9 hours at a time, live streaming or just watching content and watching other people sit back and forth and argue and debate. Give yourself a break. Log off.